Welcome back to GameVault HQ, where we dive into unique and exciting games. Today, we're taking a look at Europa, a sci-fi adventure that has caught the attention of many with its ethereal beauty and immersive gameplay. If you're a fan of narrative-driven experiences, this one might just be up your alley. So what makes Europa stand out in the sea of sci-fi games? Let's jump in. Europa takes place on the titular moon, a breathtakingly serene world orbiting Jupiter. The environment is simultaneously alien and strangely familiar, filled with vast oceans, towering cliffs, and a soft, dreamlike atmosphere. From the moment you step onto the moon's surface, you're enveloped in a sense of wonder. You aren't battling hostile aliens or engaging in intense firefights. Instead, Europa focuses on exploration, discovery, and introspection, setting it apart from the more action-heavy titles in the genre. The protagonist is a young boy named Z, exploring Europa while piecing together pages from his father's journal, which provides insight into a colonization effort that went wrong. The story involves a conflict between human colonists and automatons called gardeners. Z's journey is one of solitude, but it never feels lonely. The game's beautifully crafted world, coupled with an atmospheric soundtrack, keeps you engaged, encouraging you to dig deeper into the secrets of this strange place. The minimalistic narrative approach works well here, letting players piece together the story through exploration, rather than heavy dialogue or cutscenes. At its core, Europa offers a mix of platforming and exploration. Z's movement across the diverse terrain involves jumping, climbing, levitating, and gliding. However, the controls can feel inconsistent, making precise platforming challenging. There's a certain satisfaction in gliding across Europa's wind-swept plains or leaping across massive chasms, but at times the controls feel cumbersome, which can detract from the experience. The puzzles in Europa are integrated into the environment, but they can be basic, lacking the complexity that would make them deeply satisfying. The game's third-person camera often requires manual adjustment, and the controls sometimes struggle with precision, making it difficult for Z to grab ledges or push objects as intended. Despite these issues, the moments when Z glides smoothly through the environment can be exhilarating, especially when using energy nodes called Zephyr to maintain altitude. The pacing of Europa is one of its strongest suits. It's not trying to overwhelm you with objectives or a cluttered HUD. Instead, the game is about exploration and taking in your surroundings at your own pace. You're free to roam, but there's always a subtle nudge pushing you toward the next piece of the puzzle. The blend of open exploration with the light touch of guidance makes for a relaxing yet engaging experience. Visually, Europa is stunning. The game embraces a minimalist design, using soft colors and simple textures to create a world that feels otherworldly but grounded. The lighting effects in particular stand out. The way the sunlight dances off the water, or how the shadows shift as you move through the environment, adds depth and realism to the world. It's not just the visuals, though. The sound design deserves special mention. The soundtrack is calming yet eerie, perfectly complementing the visual aesthetic. The ambient sounds, like the soft whisper of the wind or the distant crash of waves, add to the immersion, pulling you deeper into this tranquil, yet mysterious world. The quiet moments are where Europa really shines, making you feel like a small part of something much larger. What really sets Europa apart from other games in this genre is its focus on subtlety. There's no bombastic action, no over-the-top cutscenes, just a serene, meditative journey. It's a game that encourages you to slow down, absorb the world around you, and think. In an industry often dominated by fast-paced, high-intensity titles, Europa is a refreshing change of pace. It's not just a game, it's an experience. The narrative isn't spoon-fed to you. Instead, you'll find yourself pondering the bigger questions about existence, purpose, and solitude as you navigate this alien world. It's rare to see a game that trusts its players enough to let them draw their own conclusions, but Europa does this beautifully. Of course, Europa isn't without its flaws. The minimalist design, while beautiful, may not appeal to everyone. Some players might find the slower pace too relaxed, especially if they're more accustomed to games with constant action and high-stakes gameplay. Additionally, the game's reliance on environmental storytelling means that if you're not invested in exploring every corner of the world, you might miss out on some of the more subtle elements of the plot. The controls can also be a source of frustration. Z's movement, particularly during platforming segments, can feel imprecise, and the camera often requires manual adjustment. Combat with guardians can be tedious, with Z being knocked down repeatedly, which detracts from the otherwise serene atmosphere. There's also the issue of replayability. The game can be completed in roughly 3 hours, and once you've finished, there's little reason to return unless you want to experience the atmosphere again. There aren't any branching storylines or alternate endings, so some players might feel that their time with the game is short-lived. However, if you value the journey over the destination, this won't be a major issue. Europa is not a game for everyone. If you're looking for heart-pounding action, this isn't it. But if you appreciate games that offer a reflective, almost zen-like experience, Europa is a must-play. It's a title that dares to be different, embracing simplicity and subtlety in a way that few games do. The sense of wonder and discovery it evokes is rare, and for those who connect with it, unforgettable. We give Europa a solid 8 out of 10. It's a beautiful, meditative experience that stands out in the gaming landscape. It may not be for everyone, but for those who enjoy slow-burn exploration and thoughtful storytelling, Europa offers a journey worth taking. If you liked this review, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more game reviews, and drop a comment to let us know what you think. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.